a good person. Good to see you here again. My name's James Hands from Awakened Therapy. And today I want to talk about your power to heal and how it's really important for you to trust in that ability. Now, our power to heal really doesn't come from the human. The human in its deepest, most traumatic form is a separated self. We've forgotten who we are. We're apart from the power of that deeper reality. And while there's benefits in that experience of being separate and alone, we get to know ourselves as an individual, as an individual self, we can get stuck in that experience. It's obviously a dark and contracted sort of experience. We're disconnected from that greater self. Now, healing in its essence is the greater self subsuming the lower self. It's love dissolving fear. It's the greater consciousness, it's the greater presence, transmuting the lower form. That's essentially what healing is. Pretty cool, hey? And so what we're doing with therapy is we're bringing the loving, gentle acceptance, curiosity, awareness of our adult self, of our greater self, and ultimately it's our spiritual self, the soul. I tend to call it the soul. We're bringing that consciousness to the parts of us that are stuck in much more small, fear-based versions. So think of trauma. Perhaps we're talking about childhood trauma. Maybe you went through abuse. Maybe you were abused. Maybe you were criticized. Maybe you were hit. Maybe you were sexually abused. Maybe it was some difficult, terrible form of that overt trauma. Maybe you were neglected. Maybe you were misunderstood. Maybe you had just weak, immature parents who never saw you or understood you, so you were very alone. You never got nurtured or fed or the empathy that we need to thrive. Whatever the form of your life challenges, what that will leave energetically is what I call residue. The residue is the contracted energy or the stuck energy of those experiences. Now, in other videos I've talked about soul purpose. In my upcoming book, Trauma Survivor to Soul Warrior, I talk a lot about soul purpose, soul meaning. Why do we choose this? And those upper levels of healing that we need to get to really finish the job of letting go of our experiences by understanding what it was all for. But when we get down into the root system of the healing tree, we really need to honour the experience and access the residue at that level of intensity. Now, your power to heal comes from the fact that you're more than just that little scared, hurt human being. This is the deeper reality. The reality is you are an adult today, at whatever age you are today, and that makes you a superhero already. You have all these powers and resources that you didn't have as a child. So already you've got this huge differential. You've got all this love and wisdom and strength that you can bring to the parts that are stuck and fearful and contracted. And as we dial that up, eventually therapy gets spiritual because we're accessing even greater dimensions of who we are. We're getting to the soul level. And so we even have more light to bring to the parts of us that are stuck in trauma or limitation. So your power to heal is built into who you are. The fact is you are an eternal child of the divine. Nothing's going to change that. Nothing could. Nothing can harm that. Nothing can destroy the fact of that or the truth of who you are. So your ability to heal is built in. Don't underestimate how much strength, courage, wisdom, love, empathy, capacity you have for healing. It's built into who you are. But perhaps we all know that in our human journey, we do forget who we are for a time. It's difficult down here. We go into the density of earth energies and it's like storm clouds blocking out the sun. We do forget who we are for a while. They call it a spiritual amnesia. And in that state of forgetfulness, in that state of separation, then we're going through all the ordeals of trying to grow up in a world full of people who've forgotten who they are. And that's so often our own parents, forgotten who they are, so they can't give us what we need. Bloody hell. So we go through all these very challenging experiences. And in that contraction, in that limitation, we call that our trauma. Trauma's stuck energy. And the residue of that, which shows up in all these symptomatic ways, well, that's what needs healing, isn't it? We have these parts of us forgetting who they are, stuck in the fear, guilt, rage, grief of difficult experiences, very challenging experiences, even full-on abuse experiences, which I'm so often working with my clients, is serious childhood abuse. Those parts do desperately need our loving attention. They're not going to shift. They're not going to be able to heal without that. And we certainly can't get rid of a part of us. Where would it go? It's a part of us. But your ability to heal is based on the fact that you're already this mighty soul warrior, and you have what every part of you needs. You have the love, strength, wisdom that every darkened part of you needs to heal, for those issues to be transmuted, for those parts to be reintegrated back into the wholeness of who and what you are. So don't think too little of yourself. Don't underestimate your ability to heal. Get help. Wonderful people out there, wonderful modalities out there to help you even further. I'm sure you're well down your journey already, but keep going. Find new people, try new modalities. But remember, at the heart of it, you have what's needed for healing, and there's nothing that won't heal. There's nothing that love won't heal. What's that old saying? With God, all things are possible. Well, with you, all things are possible because you are a child of God. You are a child of the divine. Yeah, don't underestimate that. But the key is we have to bring those greater capacities to the parts that are stuck. That's the process of it. That's what's needed for the healing to take place.